Ukraine is taking the war into Russia. Their weapons of choice are drones. Kyiv conducted fresh attacks today, their biggest assault on Russia since the war began. Ukraine struck 6 regions in Russia, and with each strike, they're trying to break Russian defenses and penetrating deeper into Russia. In today's operation, they reached as far as 600 kilometers inside Russian territory. It was one of Ukraine's most daring missions yet. What do they hope to achieve with this? Can drones change the trajectory of this conflict? That's our lead story tonight, and we'll start with some pictures. These are from the Pskov region. Russia has an airport here. Last night, it was targeted by Ukrainians. Their drones destroyed multiple military planes. Going by one claim, 2 planes burst into flames. And what kind of planes are these? Transport planes used by the military. Pskov is nowhere close to Ukraine. It is more than 600 kilometers into Russia. It falls closer to the Estonian border. And this was not the only target. 5 more regions came under attack. Oryel, Bryansk, Ryazan, Kaluga, and the Moscow region. Russia declared that it will hit back.
The actions of the Ukrainian regime will not go unpunished. Russian law enforcement structures are investigating and properly documenting all facts of shelling by Ukrainian militants of Russian regions and their other criminal actions.
And they did. Moscow launched drones and missiles towards Kyiv. It was Russia's biggest bombardment in months, but it was not effective. Ukraine's air defenses managed to drown all 28 missiles fired by Russia, also 15 out of the 16 Russian drones that came their way. And yet there were casualties. At least 2 people died in Ukraine. They were struck by the falling debris. From the looks of it, this is going to get worse. So expect more attacks in the coming days. Because Ukraine's drone war is intensifying, Kyiv never takes credit for these strikes. But they never deny their involvement either. Look at this map. It shows all the drone attacks Russia has suffered till early August. A large number of them happened near the border. Now look at the southern region, that's Crimea. This year, it has witnessed a high number of drone attacks. And that's not all. Drones have also targeted the Russian capital, Moscow. Also caused damage in central Russia. These strikes are disrupting daily life in the country. It happened today in Pskov. The airport here is used for civilian flights too. All flights from this airport were cancelled today. And that's not all. 3 other airports had to be closed. Although that disruption was brief, at least 12 flights had to be diverted. And that is the idea really behind the use of drones. It puts pressure on ordinary Russians. Ukraine wants them to feel that the war has come to their doorstep. They want Russia to feel vulnerable. And drones prove to be effective in this pursuit. They're small, they're fast, and they can fly long distances. Plus, it seems Russian radars are unable to catch them. But that's the limited purpose they serve. Drone strikes will not lead to a Ukrainian victory. They will, at best, give them good headlines and expose the limits of Russian defenses. Off the record, Ukraine's military concedes that these attacks have a limited impact. What they do is impede Russian advances, slow down their forces, and offer a temporary advantage to Kyiv. When Moscow decides, it can muster the means to counter this. Putin has resourceful allies to fall back on, like the president of China, Xi Jinping. In fact, the Russian president is planning to visit China soon. He's got an invite from the Chinese president. In October, Xi Jinping is hosting the Belt and Road Forum, and Putin will attend the event in person. Why is this noteworthy? Because Putin has been a reclusive leader of late. Since the war began, he's traveled outside Russia only twice, once to visit Iran and the second time to some former Soviet states in Russia's neighborhood. He did not go to the BRICS summit in South Africa. He has also opted out of the G20 summit in India. In fact, on Monday, he called Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inform him about this decision. Putin has not traveled overseas since March this year. That's when an arrest warrant was issued in his name. The International Criminal Court had found him guilty of war crimes. So Putin has become more selective about his travel plans. Reports say he's willing to visit only those countries where his security and safety is guaranteed. And clearly, he deems China to be safe. His last visit to China was in February 2022, less than 3 weeks before he invaded Ukraine. That's when Putin and Xi declared a no-limits partnership. A Russia-China no-limits partnership. The relationship has only deepened since then. Putin is counting on support from Xi, both for the war in Ukraine and for the Russian economy. So far, Beijing's support has been largely diplomatic. Will the October visit change this? We'll be tracking it for you.